I know a lot of people are watching the Flint water crisis and the lead poisoning there for the children, and which will be suffering for generations because lead poisoning is not a quick fix, and can oftentimes end up in permanent brain damage, as I'm sure you're very painfully aware of, Tamara. How common is lead poisoning?
It's a lot more common than people think. The CDC has a report that they don't quote, that we quote in the movie, and that report shows that 1 in 3 American kids has had a blood level of 2.5 or higher in their lifetime. And the thing is, they keep quoting a different number. They quote this 535,000 children have lead poisoning, and that's 535,000 children between the ages of 1 and 5 who've had a blood level of 5 or higher in their lifetime. And so that's basically a spin on the data. They've chosen to deselect children that are under 18 but over 5. They've chosen to not include children who have a blood level 2 and up. And really, it's about 22 million American children have had unsafe levels of lead in their blood in their lifetime. The problem is that once the lead levels go down in your blood, you still have the long-term impacts, and that can be ADD, ADHD, that can be Tourette's and sensory processing disorder. It can be an autism spectrum symptom range. And there's a lot of other long-term impacts of childhood lead exposure. Obviously, the links to lead and crime have been well explored, and you know, unfortunately, the CDC has been trying to publicize this the image of this concern as being resolved or nearly resolved. Like, look at all the good we've done in the last 40 years. And yes, they've made progress, yet still, by doing that, they're dismissing all of these children who are being exposed to lead in their homes, even at the low levels. And what it's turning out, what the science is showing, is that the low-level lead exposure has a more significant impact, actually, per blood level point than the higher lead exposure proportionally. So the impact of a blood level 1, 2, 3, 4 is greater than anything over a 10, for example, proportionally. So you have a pretty significant negative health impairment with even the low levels. And then once you get above a 10, a 20, 30, you get into like different health impairments, which are you know, seizures and death and failure of bodily functions, failure to thrive in infants, and kidney failure, heart failure, things like that.